Always say something. A prize, motherfucker.
This episode is sponsored by BetterHelp. What's going on, everybody? As we all know, mental health is a huge piece for me. And recently, as I become a better version of myself, I've decided that it's time for me to go to therapy because I understand how life can be a little overwhelming and we all need help navigating through the trenches of military service in and out of uniform. BetterHelp connects you with a licensed therapist who is trained to listen and give you helpful, unbiased advice. First, all you got to do is go to their site. Matter of fact, you can use my link right here. Answer a few questions and BetterHelp will match you with a professional who has years of experience helping people with struggles just like yours. You can do it all from your phone or computer via phone call or video chat or messaging, however you feel most comfortable. It's the easiest possible way to start talking to a therapist. You will be matched to a therapist usually within 48 hours so you can get started fast. Let BetterHelp connect you to a therapist who can support you all from the comfort of your home. Visit betterhelp.com/Meech Speaks and enjoy a special discount on your first month.
What's going on, everybody? It's that ordinary podcaster with the extraordinary thoughts that tells you to stop being great and be extraordinary. I'm Demetrius Thigpen, also known as Meech Speaks, and welcome back to another episode of the Talkin Crazy podcast. Now, before we get started with this podcast, don't forget to head on over to your favorite streaming platform, whether that's Apple Podcasts, Spotify Podcasts, or even YouTube, and leave this podcast an honest review because this podcast deserves to grow just as much as we do. Now, first things first, happy Thanksgiving to everybody that's listening to this episode. All right. Now, once again, happy Thanksgiving. All right. You were probably listening to this episode as you drive to your first house to pick up your first plate. You know what I mean? You're probably listening to this episode as you get ready, getting dressed. You're probably cleaning up the house. You're probably prepping food right now. You know, so I just want to just say first and foremost, man, I'm thankful. You feel me? That you took time out to listen to this episode. Now, before we really dive into today's episode, I just want to say a couple of things real quick. I just really want to get a couple of things off my chest. First things first, Monday's episode with Peasy. If you have not gotten a chance to listen to last year's episode, do yourself a service and go ahead and check that one out before you even head on over into this one. Number two, my birthday. My birthday is Saturday, November 29th. All right. In 1990, Wanda Banks gave birth to me on a Thursday, the day of Thanksgiving. You feel me? Like the day of Thanksgiving. And a lot of people always wonder why Thanksgiving, why I go so hard for Thanksgiving. Well, I was born on that holiday. You feel me? Like I was born on that holiday. So this holiday always meant a lot to me. Growing up, man, like I've always either my mom hosted or my grandmother hosted or my aunt hosted, but we would always go over. And I just used to love, bro. Like I used to just love coming over the house. You feel me? The whole house packed. I'm talking about outside, cars around the corner. You know what I mean? Aunts, uncles, cousins showing up. We all eating good food. I'm talking about food laid out. You know, people dressed up. We taking pictures. We laughing. They watching the game. You feel me? This back when the Lions used to be terrible. You know, so I used to hear my brother, my uncles upset watching the Lions. You know, so Thanksgiving has always brought real memories for me. As I got older, you feel me, and I became an adult and I had my own place, I went on to host, you feel me? And I always made it my business, especially on Thanksgiving, to one, cook, you feel me? Because my mom, she cooked. She always invited everybody over, you know what I mean? But being in the Marine Corps, I know what it's like to not be close to home. You feel me? Like I know what it's like to not be close to home. So I always would bring my junior Marines over, my peers over, guys in my company, guys in my shop. You feel me? I've always made it my business to host because I know what it's like to not have family close by. And I know that, you know, it means a lot when we can all come together. You feel me? So I really want to just say that, man, because this holiday really means a lot to me. You know, regardless of what a lot of people may think about the holiday, I understand the history of it, but when you take that away, and you just look to your left and look to your right, ain't nothing better than breaking bread to the one with the ones that you call your brother. You feel me? Ain't nothing like breaking bread with with family. You feel me? I think that's the best way to say it. Ain't nothing like breaking bread with family. So with that being said, let's go ahead and get started with today's episode. Now, earlier this week, me and Peasy, we talked about just basic Thanksgiving one-on-one. We talked about food. We talked about guests. We talked about, things to bring, things not to bring. We talked about pet owners. You feel me? This time around, I really had to think about it. I said, what is it that we could talk about on Thanksgiving that would set everyone up for success? Now, as somebody who is hosting, I'm talking about I got a turkey on a smoker right now. I got the greens in the pot right now. You feel me? As somebody that's getting ready to host in less than 10 hours, okay, in less than 10 hours, these are the things that you don't do on Thanksgiving, all right? I'm telling you right now, if you head into somebody's house, you feel me? These are things that you don't do. If you are the one that's hosting, these are the things that you don't do on Thanksgiving. I got the top 10 things that you don't do. All right, let's go ahead and get started with today's episode. Number 10, don't show up to nobody's house empty-handed. All right? I don't know who need to hear this, okay? As somebody that's hosted Thanksgiving and as somebody who's went to other people's houses, you feel me? I always make it my business and I say to them, I'm like, hey, what is it that you want me to bring? You feel me? And they like, you could bring whatever. I get it. You probably cooking a whole bunch of shit, all right? But one thing that I'm not going to do is show up to somebody's house empty-handed. I'm bringing chips. I'm going to bring napkins. I'll bring plates. I'll make a dish here. I'll stop at the store. I'm calling. You feel me? And I'm asking, hey, do you need charcoal? Do y'all need me to grab something at the store? You feel me? I say that, man, because it's somebody right now that's heading to somebody else's house, and they ain't bringing shit. And don't use that excuse that you single. You feel me? Bring some chips. You know damn well you could have brought a patty pie. You know damn well you could have stopped at a store and picked up something. Maybe some liquor, maybe some ice. I say that, man, because especially if somebody is already preparing everything for you, the least you can do is just bring something. All right? Now, if you a family and you showing up empty-handed, shame on you. Shame on you. And I'm going to tell you right now, if you a family and you show up empty-handed and didn't even ask if you could bring something, don't worry about taking anything with you. Don't worry about that. Because I ain't about to feed your whole family and you ain't even contribute into anything. Number 9, do not show up and start cooking at the house, okay? And I'm going to break this one down just a little bit for everybody that understands this, okay? Some of y'all are told to bring a dish, okay? As somebody that's hosted before, I can't buy everything. You feel me? I might buy the turkey. You feel me? You might have to buy the ham. If you one of the guys that's bringing one of the lead members on the show, I'm talking about probably the turkey, probably the ham. More than likely, you probably bringing the greens. You don't show up 15 minutes before dinner is served to start cooking your shit. All right, I'll tell you this like this. Last year, I'm doing Thanksgiving. I did the turkey, I did the macaroni and cheese, I did the greens, I did the dressing, I did the yams, I did the mashed potatoes. We had a guest. They said that they bringing the fucking ham. Okay, they asked me what time is dinner gonna be served. I said dinner is being served at 5. They showed up at 4:45, bro. 4:45 with the ham. The ham still needed to go in the oven. If the ham needed to go in the oven, all right? I promise you right now, for those who don't know this, and if you were about to make this mistake, the ham needs at least an hour to itself. The ham needs at least 2 hours to itself to reheat. You can't just do that in 15 minutes, okay? Some of y'all are pet owners, so you was probably already told, like, hey, cook over here. That means that you got to show up an hour or two earlier than everybody else to prep your dish. You can't just show up over here and start moving shit out the way because you showed up late. So I'm going to tell you right now. All right. Don't just show up and immediately think that you about to start cooking late in the game. Number 8, do not touch the food until the prayer has been said. Okay. I will say that again. Do not touch the food until the prayer has been said. All right. I'm just letting y'all know that right now. It ain't even about the prayer. Okay. It really ain't even about the prayer. We start the prayer when all food has been done. You know what I mean? Like we start the prayer when all the food has been laid out on the table. We start the prayer when everybody has brought everything that needed to be brought for the spread and everything has been set on the table. Until the prayer is the final call. I don't think a lot of people get that. The prayer is the final call. So you can't come in this motherfucker with a plate picking at shit. You feel me? Ain't nobody should see you fucking with some ham on your plate. Nobody should see you with some macaroni and chicken. Man, tell me why. I remember it wasn't even Thanksgiving. It was the 4th of July. And I'm cooking. All right. Once again, hosting. You know what I mean? Invited somebody over. And as I'm pulling food out of the oven, I'm not even done. I still got meat on the grill. He come in this motherfucker with a plate in his hand talking about, hey, I just need to put some food on the kids, kids getting hungry. You know what I mean? I just want to just feed them real quick. I said, what the fuck? I said, bruh, like, ain't nobody else ate. What the hell is you doing? I was like, man, take them kids around the corner to like a store and get them a bag of chips or some shit like that. You feel me? Like you just can't start picking and putting food and shit like that on your plate before everybody else before the food ain't even been put on the table. Like, come on now. It's just disrespectful to everybody in the house. It's honestly just disrespectful. So unless you just trying to get cussed the fuck out on Thanksgiving and ruin the holiday for everybody, go ahead, fill up on some chips, get some of them chips that's going to hold you over. All right. Hit that charcuterie board that's going to hold you over, and wait until everything has hit the table and the prayer. As soon as you hear it, let us bow our heads. Amen. That's when you can fucking eat. Number 7, do not bring a random person to somebody else's house. Okay. Some of y'all are guests and y'all showing up to somebody else's house. You already, and I'm going to say this real quick before we even start. You already ain't bringing anything. Now you about to bring somebody that the host don't even fucking know this person. Nobody in your circle know who the fuck you bring. You bringing a random +1. Neither one of y'all bringing any fucking thing. You see what I'm saying? And y'all about to show up to somebody else's house and eat? Yeah, I promise you right now, you'll never get invited to anything else if you pull some shit like that. I promise you right now, you pull something like that and you bring a random person and you think that you about to introduce them as soon as you get through the door. Yeah, we about to ask, who the fuck is this? Now I'm looking at the person's hands like, did this person bring anything? Oh, y'all just brought empty stomachs. Once again, if we tell you don't bring anything, that's cool. But at least say, hey, I have so-and-so with me. You mind if they come? Give the host a courtesy. I remember, man, and I will always relate a lot of this to stories because of the simple fact that I've hosted. You feel me? And I remember I did Thanksgiving and I invited one of the Marines that I hadn't seen in a while. And I was like, hey, bro, like, hey, I'm doing Thanksgiving. You're more than welcome to pull up. You feel me? He's like, hey, can I bring my wife? I said, absolutely. He shows up with him and his wife. He also showed up with him, his wife's mother, his wife's sister, and his brother. I looked at him and I looked at everybody else. And I said, what the fuck is this? He said, oh, brother, I mentioned to tell you that I had everybody at the house. I really wanted to come by, but they wanted to come too. I said, bro, like, what the fuck? And all they brought was a damn cheese dish. And then on top of that, they sat in a corner and just talked to themselves. They ain't even talk to nobody. This is the problem when y'all be bringing random people here. You feel me? Is they don't even know anybody. So they gonna sit off to the side and talk. You feel me? You ain't about to do that in my fucking house. Y'all can go ahead and go to fucking Golden Corral. Y'all can go somewhere else with all that bullshit. Number 6. Don't start critiquing people's food. All right? I get it. Some people can't cook. You feel me? Some people can't cook. But sometimes it's really the thought that matters. All right. Y'all know for a fact I don't like string bean casserole, but you would never hear me say if somebody shows up to my house with string bean casserole. You feel me? Because a couple of other people actually like it. That's not my place to talk shit about it. Okay. I don't like it. I'm not going to put it on my plate, but I'm also not going to bring it up either. Ugh, who brought this? Like, first off, let's stop for a second and remember that somebody took the time out to make this. All right. And it may not be good to you, but it also might be good to somebody else. So I would tell y'all this. All right. And this is also, man, like for people who are mixing like multiple cultures. Okay. Just because it's not something that's common in your household, that don't mean that it's uncommon to everybody else. All right. So I would promise you, man, like don't get to talking shit about somebody else's dish. All right. Now, if it's nasty, I will tell you, okay? Respectfully, fold your plate up. Okay, fold your plate up. Put that motherfucker, put it in the trash. Get your napkin, put it on top. You know what I mean? I remember we was doing Thanksgiving and my stepfather, he came over and this lady next door, she brought something over and I was like, what the hell? And he said, make sure you put a little bit of it on your plate. I said, I ain't gonna eat it. He said, regardless, she still brought it. Don't be rude. And I put some of it on my plate. I tried to taste it. It wasn't good. But after I was done, I folded my plate up, put it in the trash. Some of y'all be showing up to these people's houses, man, thinking that you could just say whatever the hell you want. I promise you, man, just because you don't like it, that don't mean that ain't nobody else. They made that with love. They made that with intention. That ain't your place to critique it. Number 5, and I promise you, this one probably is for me, okay? Don't get drunk before the game over with. To be honest with you, don't be drunk before the damn turkey come out of the oven. Don't be drunk before prayer. Don't be the drunk one. This ain't fucking brunch, Demetrius. Okay? This ain't bottomless mimosas. All right? I don't know who need to hear this, but you showing up to somebody else's house, you trying to host, and your ass is drunk? Come on, man. You were supposed to sip as you go. You were supposed to drink some water. You were supposed to put a little bit on your stomach. You remember that's why you bought the charcuterie board. That's why you bought the little appetizers. So this would not happen. All right. Some of y'all be showing up on Thanksgiving thinking that this is brunch or something like that. Next thing you know, you drunk, passed out in the guest room because you couldn't hold your damn liquor. All right. Now, I'll tell you this right now. If you know you a lightweight when it come down to drinking, don't think on Thanksgiving that this is the day where you about to bring up your tolerance. No, it's not. No, it's not. You're going to be throwing up. You going to throw up. Speaking from experience, as somebody who done passed out early on Thanksgiving, as somebody who done thrown up on Thanksgiving, as somebody who has showed their ass on numerous occasions on Thanksgiving, do not get drunk. Do not get drunk on Thanksgiving really early. Number 4, do not bring up personal shit on Thanksgiving. All right. I can't stress this enough. All right. Keep the personal shit to yourself. All right. If you got something going on with somebody else and y'all both see each other on Thanksgiving, this is not the time or the place for you to bring it up. Okay, this is not the time or place for you to go ahead and address this situation. All right, everybody here, they trying to have a good time. They trying to be thankful. They trying to just, you know what I mean? Because we don't know if we're going to have this holiday again. We don't know if we're going to have this moment again. Keep that personal shit to yourself. Don't be asking about people's personal business on Thanksgiving. Okay. If so-and-so showed up last Thanksgiving with somebody and now you don't see that person, that ain't your place. That ain't your place to ask what happened. Okay. Don't ask people how when you're going to get married, when you're going to have some kids. You feel me? When you going to get promoted. I will say this, the same way that we talking about, don't be talking about people's personal business. Also, can we keep the work at work? You feel me? Can we keep I'll say that again now. Can we keep the work at work? All right. Some of y'all showing up to your coworker's house. I ain't trying to talk about Friday's tasker with you, bro. I'm not trying to talk about a Monday tasker with you while I got this food on my plate. All right? Keep the personal business at an all-time low, and let's keep the work business till next week. All right, we ain't talking about none of that. All right, talk to me about what's going on the game. All right, talk to me about the food. Talk to me about other things. Don't ruin my mood on this holiday. Number 3, make your own kids plate. All right, I don't know who need to hear that. All right, some of y'all be coming over with some kids, and first and foremost, I will say this real quick, man, because I need to say this. If your kid's bad, right? Like if your kid's bad and you know they bad, all right? Because some of y'all know y'all kids bad as fuck, all right? Don't come over to my house. You feel me? Just don't even fucking come over. I ain't got time to keep dealing with that. But at the same time, all right, it ain't my responsibility to make your kids fucking play. Make your kids play. But when you make that kid play reasonable, okay? Make it reasonable. He can't eat the same way that you about to eat. Give him what he can eat, all right? If you can't pronounce it and the kid can't pronounce it, don't put that on that fucking boy plate, all right? And also, prep y'all kids, because I tell you right now, kids ain't got no filter, and they can be rude. So if you fuck around and put something on their plate that they ain't used to eating, they gonna say it out loud. Ugh, this nasty. The person who made it probably sitting right next to you. Come on now. Monitor the kids, make your own kid plate. You know what your kid like. Number 2, dress for the occasion, okay? Yes, I know it's Thanksgiving. Yes, I know that we're going to be at somebody's house. Yes, I know that for some of y'all might be at y'all house. But at the exact same time, you about to have company over. Take the bonnet off your head, all right? Take the do-rag off your head, bro. You feel me? I'm not saying that we got to wear suits, but at the same time, we shouldn't still be wearing the same thing that we just woke up in. All right, dress for the occasion. All right, because we taking pictures. This still an event. All right, I don't know who need to hear that, but this still a event. All right, I take pictures on Thanksgiving. I like to save memories. I don't need you coming outside, man, and you still got your basketball shorts on that you woke up in. You got your t-shirt on. You ain't even took a shower because you think we at your house. You walking around with your feet out. Oh, heck, dress for the occasion. All right, dress for the occasion. And number 1, all right, and I can't stress this enough. All right, to-go plates get made after everybody has already eaten. I will say that again. To-go plates will get made after everyone has eaten. And I'm going to let some of y'all know real quick, okay? Because some of y'all think y'all slick. You come, you going to eat, you going to stay and talk for a little bit. This is not Uber Eats where you about to show up and grab something and bounce. All right. If you was going to do that, you should have just skipped my house and went on ahead. You feel me? You showed up, grabbed something and said, hey, I'm going to make me a plate real quick. And I will also tell you this. If you didn't bring anything, don't make a plate. Don't make a to-go plate if you didn't bring anything. If you one of the ones that brought a +1 and the +1 didn't bring anything, the +1 won't get a to-go plate. All right? Y'all could split y'all to-go plate. Some people may call it petty. I just call it being honest. All right. I just call it being fair. All right. If you didn't bring anything, you are not fucking bringing a to-go plate. All right. And I can't stress this enough. If you a family and all y'all brought is some chips, do not try to make a damn big ass to-go plate to feed the whole family. Okay. Like, come on now. Like, let's just be respectful to everybody else because I do want to enjoy the food the next day as well. And lastly, and I think honestly, this is one of the most important ones right here, and this is just a bonus, but come in a good mood. Come positive. All right. A lot of y'all, man, like y'all didn't want to leave the house. Y'all felt like y'all had to go. If you feel like that, don't show up. You know what I mean? Because the last thing that anybody wants is to have to deal with somebody with a bad mood or that's not in the right space to even be around anybody. All right. Come being positive, dude. Like, this is a holiday where we come together. That's really what this is all about. Coming together, breaking bread with family, just being thankful that we have each other, being thankful for the things that we have. If that's too much, stay your ass at home. You feel me? If you feel like you don't want to get dressed up, you don't want to be around the people, you don't want to be bothered, keep your ass at home. You feel me? You ain't got to come around everybody and you shouldn't feel obligated. All right. So with that being said, man, if you can't come positive, don't come at all. But if you gonna come, you better be positive. All right. You better be positive. All right. Because and be thankful too. And stop playing with me. But most importantly, as we come to a close to this day, to this episode, once again, man, my favorite holiday of the year. Happy Thanksgiving to everybody. And also, man, to those who have gotten selected to First Sergeant or Sergeant Major or Master Sergeant or Master Gun Sergeant, congratulations. You feel me? Congratulations. And to those who got passed over, man, I know it may feel like you're not good enough right now, but I promise you, man, it's just sometimes it ain't your time and it's God's timing. And when it finally happens, I promise you, man, you're gonna be thankful. But with that being said, I love everybody. Be thankful, be merry, be happy, be merry, and take the fucking Christmas lights down, okay? Because we still in November. We still in fucking November.
And just like that, another extraordinary thought left this ordinary mind. I hope you enjoyed this episode half as much as I enjoyed making it. Don't forget to head on over to your favorite streaming platform, whether that's Apple Podcasts or Spotify Podcasts, and leave this podcast an honest review because this podcast deserves to grow just as much as we do. Also, don't forget to head on over to TikTok or Instagram and follow me at Meech Speaks. That's right, Meech Speaks. Meech is spelled Meech. Stay motivated, stay healthy. I'm out.